An iPhone 11, AirPods, a MacBook Air, $4,000 in cash. This Christmas list seems more like a Christmas dream. The irony is a dad said it came from his 10-year-old daughter.
But if you have an entire list of big ticket items, it might be clues that it's time to have a conversation with your child about budgeting and about the value of money, right? And maybe to start implementing some chores.
We talked to a parenting coach, Carrington Cunnington, about kids and gift expectations. She says gift lists are a great tool, especially for distant relatives, but children can be encouraged to think about more than just what they want.
I suggest that my kids think about how could this exchange bring you and the person who you're exchanging with, how could it bring you closer together?
Cunnington says it's also good to encourage your child to be a gift giver from an early age. Also, get them thinking about incorporating experiences instead of just items.
More people will remember special experiences than they will remember what was under the tree when they were 6 or 8 or 10 years old.
Another approach suggested by a parenting support group is want, need, wear, read. Each kid gets one thing they want, one thing they need, something to wear, and something to read. Well, separate research done on toddlers found that fewer toys lead to more creativity and focus, and kids with fewer toys end up playing with them longer. Carrington also says it's okay for kids to feel disappointed. Well, with cable TV, internet, and all the streaming services we have, our monthly bill is getting expensive. People are now turning in their modems and buying their own to save money. But tomorrow, we'll show you if that's really a money saver or just a waste of time.
All right, we are getting ourselves closer to the weekend. Tomorrow, we'll start off with some clouds, isolated showers south, then a pretty nice weekend. 44 and sunshine on Saturday, 50s Sunday and Monday, but it comes with the return of some rain. Thanks so much for joining us here on the Now Indy. The news at 6 o'clock starts right now.
This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
Be driving down the alley and you go up and you go down. It's almost kind of like a little roller coaster. And then there's water, like the water thing in the roller coaster.
Years of complaints go unanswered. The measures one woman went to in order to repair her alley after the city never did. Plus, what you need to know if you're in the same situation.
In one apartment, sewage is backing up into a sink. In another unit, mold is becoming an issue. Residents reached out to RTV6 for help, and we tried to get answers.
A man's shocking confession. He admits deliberately putting drivers on a local interstate at risk. What he says he was trying to do and why.
Enjoying temperatures in the 40s and 50s now, but this map tells the story when a cool down and temperatures in the 20s will return.
And I'm Kevin Gregory, live downtown. I bet you can guess where I'm at. I'm anxious to tell you about the success of the 6 Shines On Toy Drive.
But first at 6, large holes in the road filled with water. This is what families living on the north side had to drive down for years just to get to their homes.
And after several complaints to the city that have gone unanswered, one woman took matters into her own hands.
RTV6's Nicole Griffin is working for you, finding out when and if the city ever makes repairing an alley a priority.
They were huge. They looked like lakes. They're like little lakes in the alley.
Driving down this Northside alley just off Keystone Avenue has been hazardous for years.
You go up and you go down. It's almost kind of like a little roller coaster. And then there's water.
The alley is the only way to access Jennifer Denise's dad's home. She's called the Mayor's Action Center and still has an open complaint filed in 2015.
The lady was like, I understand. They just aren't fixing the alleys right now.
But this summer, matters became more urgent. Her father had a stroke and was diagnosed with dementia. He now requires in-home care.
I panicked when they said they were going to send people out to the house. I'm like, how are they going to get to him?
Jennifer hired a company, paid $780, and got stones put down in the alley.
My dad said, oh, it's the city's responsibility, but it's my problem. Like, I have to make sure that you're taken care of, so I have to have someone come out and fill it.
The company hired to do the work reached out to RTV6 upset because they feel like Jennifer shouldn't have to pay to get this work done.
We sent out somebody, and he called me and said, oh, yeah, this is terrible. You know, one load of stone won't even be enough for this. The holes are so big, you know, the cars are sinking in.
Ann McCurdy is a dispatcher with Brookfield Sand and Gravel. She's taken a personal interest in this situation, even calling the Mayor's Action Center, worried Jennifer will have the same situation in 2 years.
I just hope somebody can take the initiative and we can fix the problem. I don't think she should have to pay for it. If the city could step up, that would be awesome. If there's some private citizens that could step up, that would be awesome.
A city spokesman says, quote, it is not DPW's current direction to prioritize addressing alley requests over street rehabilitation projects. However, more funding for transportation infrastructure maintenance certainly wouldn't hamper our ability to get to a place where we could better address alley issues in the future. Working for you on the North Side, Nicole Griffin, RTV6.
Thanks, Nicole. And RTV6 is working for you. Tonight, the Mayor's Action Center says they have more than 2,300 open cases for alley chuckholes. This could include duplicate calls for the same chuckhole. A spokesman with DPW says they do not receive gas tax revenue for non-named streets like alleys. So only larger thoroughfares and residential streets are considered when allocating funding to Marion County. Since alleys are less traveled, he says city streets with higher traffic volumes must remain the priority. Kyle.
Hopefully you got a chance to enjoy some of the weather today, because anytime we get highs in the 50s in December, you got to take advantage of it. 50 degrees in the city today, and those temperatures are starting to slide back now that we've got those clear skies. We're already to 43 in Indy and Columbus, still 49 though in the Bloomington area. There are clear skies now, but we're kind of getting in on a squeeze play. We're going to have some clouds moving in as we go through the evening hours, but we'll keep it a dry forecast. There you notice those temperatures, once they hit about the upper 30s to around 40, they level off and even come back up just a little bit here as we go through the overnight. Coming up, we got a lot to talk about, including an overall mild stretch the next few days, but rain chances will return, and we've got a big time cold blast on the way in the 7-day forecast.
Whatever dish I wash, take it to the bathroom sink and wash it there.
Well, imagine having to do dishes in the bathroom because the sink is flooded with sewage. Well, that's a reality for some residents of a Beech Grove apartment complex. Fed up, those people reached out to RTV6 for answers. Troy Washington is working for you to help get the problem solved and finds out what you should keep in mind.
For 2 weeks now, Richard Mouse says this sewage has been standing in his apartment.
This is not only a nightmare, it's a living nightmare.
He's lived in his unit at Diplomat Apartments for 40 years. He wants to continue calling it home, but not like this.
It's like you have to beg them and crawl to get them to do anything.
Many of the residents say they've protected this complex for far too long now. They don't care what speaking out costs them. Residents say at first they were afraid to speak up, but desperation took away that fear.
This is like the last resort that we had.
Jada Wood says her unit isn't flooded, but she says the mold inside of her place is giving her headaches and making her children sick.
There's mold everywhere.
Both Woods and Mount say they've reached out to the health department about their issues and tell RTV6 they've called the complex about their problems too many times to count.
This is just like an ongoing thing.
I spoke with management at the complex. They say they've dealt with the health department recently when it comes to sorting things out. But according to Diplomat Apartments, issues are being resolved and the flooding and mold will be taken care of. Management says the fixes will take time because the repairs are being made to a building built in the 60s. Working for you in Beech Grove, Troy Washington, RTV6.
Well, we've emailed and called the health department twice to find out more about its involvement. We'll let you know what we hear back. And if you ever have safety concerns in your own neighborhood and you aren't getting answers, turn to us. Email us at workingforyou@rtv6.com. The United States House is taking a big step toward impeaching President Trump.
Topping the RTV6 newsfeed today, Speaker Nancy Pelosi announced the House will draft articles of impeachment accusing President Trump of abusing the powers of his office to advance his own political gain. A vote in the full House could come before Christmas, sending the issue to the Senate.
An investigation is underway after a shooting that left a person dead on the east side. IMPD says it happened around 2:30 on the 4800 block of East 19th Street. That's near North Emerson Avenue in Interstate 70. Now, police have not said what led to the shooting or whether officers have identified a suspect.
State police say a suspected drunk driver crashed into a school bus this morning on Interstate 70 near downtown, leaving 2 students hurt. Troopers say they believe a silver car was driving too fast along westbound I-70 near Emerson Avenue just before 9:30 this morning and crashed into a Warren Township school bus. Medics took 2 students and 1 adult passenger on the bus to a local hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Police arrested the woman driving the car for allegedly drinking and driving.
Well, this Anderson man has confessed to police that he dropped 2 bikes from an overpass in Madison County because he wanted to kill people. Police arrested 32-year-old Stephen Davis and charged him with criminal recklessness. According to court records, Davis called police and admitted to tossing 2 bikes over the bridge and onto I-69. Police say he said he did it because he wanted to cause a fatal accident. Investigators say Davis told officers that his only regret was that he didn't cause a 10-car pileup and bodies on the ground.
A high-speed chase in Miami, Florida involving a UPS truck ends in gunfire. Miami TV stations are reporting that police said 2 suspects armed with handguns tried to rob a UPS truck. Police say the suspects shot a victim in the head and then sped off in the UPS truck. It is not known if the UPS driver was still in the truck or not. When the truck no longer had anywhere to go, shots were fired. This just ended, so it is unclear exactly what the outcome of this is. The latest is coming up on ABC World News with David Muir.
Republicans in control of the Indiana State House haven't shown signs that the Red for Ed rally dissuade them or to increase funding for education. The Associated Press reports teachers unions and Democrats are calling for the legislature to direct some of the unexpected $400 million growth in the state's cash reserves to schools. That's instead of adopting Governor Eric Holcomb's proposal for using much of that money to pay for construction projects. Today, Republican legislative leaders argue that directing some of that money to schools now would commit the state to a higher level of school funding for future years.
This holiday season, you can give the gift of a forever home to a dog or cat that desperately needs a family to love them. Indianapolis Animal Care Services announced its Home for the Holidays adoption campaign. For the rest of December, IACS will waive adoption fees with the donation of an item from the shelter's wish list. That includes dry and wet cat and dog food, kitty litter, paper towels, hand sanitizer, Kongs, Jolly Balls, and Nyla Bones.
The Muncie Police Department, the chief rather, is stepping down at the end of the year. Chief Joe Winkle tells RTV6 that he is retiring for the 2nd time. Muncie Mayor Dennis Tyler appointed Chief Joe Winkle back in 2016. Chief Winkle's last day on the force is December 30th. Mayor Tyler decided not to run again, and the new mayor has yet to name the next Muncie police chief. Chief Winkle says that he technically was already retired, so he's just going back into retirement. He plans to stay in the Muncie area to be near his grandchildren. Chief Winkle says a federal investigation into some of his officers is still ongoing, and he hopes to see a conclusion very soon. He also served as police chief from 1996 to 2008.
Time is running out for you to get to Monument Circle for our annual toy drive.
We are accepting new toys for children in need until 6:30 tonight, and many of you have already graciously donated to the 6 Shines On toy drive.
And if you hurry to Monument Circle, you can meet our own chief meteorologist, Kevin Gregory, who has been helping collect toys all day. Hey, Kevin. Looks like you made some more friends out there.
I'm doing something spontaneous at the last hour. These young ladies have showed up to make a contribution to the toy drive. I'm Kevin.
Hi.
Hello. Welcome. What's your name?
Cassie.
So thank you for making a donation. Have you donated in the past?
No.
So how did you come out this year? How did that happen?
It was Mom's idea. Mom got wind of it on the internet, and we wanted to play Santa this year.
See, the beauty of that is we're still growing after 19 years. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And we've got to do one thing.
No.
For Christmas, I'm getting her a Colts hat.
No.
Okay, the tent went up here at 5 a.m. this morning. This is coworker Andrea Collins, and you were here all day long. How fulfilling has this day been?
Today, it's been an awesome day. We couldn't complain about the weather, so thank you, Kevin. And we actually had more toys than we've ever had before. We had to have our first truck leave at 12:30, and it was scheduled to go at 1.
And so we flash back to all those enthusiastic donators today. I've talked about the charitable organizations, mentioned some that will receive these toys, then distribute them.
Yes, so it's all over central Indiana, north, south, east, and west. We're giving to Servant's Heart on the south side, Grace Church Care Center on the north side. They're our main distributor of toys. Then we've got Project Angel on the west side and Urban Act Academy on the east side.
And so we were trying to add this up, and it's difficult to do, but about how many children do you think will benefit?
I'm thinking at least 5,000, and I'm expecting a surplus of toys. So there are multiple other organizations that we will be able to help.
And that is because of you. So thank you so much for helping us. And of course, we're done collecting tonight on the Circle, 1330 North Meridian. You can donate at Channel 6, at any U-Store location, at an Applebee's restaurant as well. So back to you. I'll join Kyle here in a couple seconds.
All right, Kevin. And it was a lot of fun being down there and meeting all the people who donated today.
And thank you for everyone who came out. Well, a lot of changes have happened in the workplace over the past 2 decades, including robots doing a lot of work.
Yeah, in our Hiring Hoosiers report, Rafael Sanchez finds out why you should not fear automation, including robots.
Pacers fans are eagerly awaiting the return of Victor Oladipo. The road to recovery has made stops in Fort Wayne. What we are learning about Victor's fight to return to the Pacers coming up in sports.
The good news is we have more highs in the 50s in the forecast, but we've also got some highs only in the 20s. We'll get you ready for all those changes. You're watching RTV6 News at 6.
This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
For more than a year, our Hiring Hoosiers initiative has connected you to employment opportunities, resources, training, and education.
One of the biggest changes in the workplace over the last 20 years or so is companies are using more robots.
Rafael Sanchez revisits the topic of why people should not fear the machines.
Automation can create anxiety. But as robots replace some job functions, the machines are revolutionizing how people work.
Robots can take care of that, things that are dangerous, dirty, nasty, that people don't enjoy anyway, and you have high turnover rates in.
Vincennes University is one of several sites training people to handle robotics, whether in a plant, a hospital, or a warehouse.
The good thing about this new technology is everything inside of it is old. Electricity's been around for decades, and mechanical devices, and that's all robots and automated equipment is. Some electricity and some mechanical items.
Jerry Rubel works with a number of businesses in Southwest Indiana who send workers for weekly intensive training sessions to operate robots, fix them, or maintain them.
So we've had people come to class that have had as little training as, well, I can wire up a fan in my house, or I can put a receptacle in, or I change the oil on my car. Anybody with skills as basic as those can come here and learn the things we're teaching.
In Greensburg at the Honda plant, they've set aside space for the ARC. The Associate Resource Center is where workers can improve their skills or work on the jobs of the future.
There's great opportunity for higher paying jobs working with robots.
Focused on hiring Hoosiers, Rafael Sanchez, RTV6.
The state is making grants available to help people seek jobs in this area. Information on those grants through Next Level Jobs can be found at hiringhoosiers.com. Kyle.
We had those clear skies today. Lots of sunshine, felt good, but now it's allowing those temperatures to drop off from the 50s, and now many areas in the lower and middle 40s. 42 in Tipton and Greenfield, 41 already in Crawfordsville, but you're still closer to that 50-degree mark around Bloomington and even into the Nashville area. Here's a look at satellite and radar. Weather staying very quiet. May see an isolated shower over southern areas as we go into the day tomorrow, but tonight those temperatures kind of level off as we bring in that blanket of cloud cover. 40 degrees with a light south wind. We had beautiful weather though today for the Six Shines On Toy Drive, and there you can see Monument Circle is all lit up this evening. Kevin Gregory standing by with more on today's success on that toy drive. Kevin.
It was a great one, Kyle. We had a great evening, and now it's time to relax a little bit. The horse-drawn carriages are lined up. This one has to be back by midnight every night. The carriages year-round start to line up at about 5, 6 in the evening until 10 or 11 at night. Penny has drawn a crowd. There's no greater way to warm your hands than on her nose. She's 28 years old. She is a veteran of Monument Circle, and probably many of you have been on a carriage ride with her. So we'll go back to you, Kyle. I'm going to warm my hands as well right here.
All right, Cuddle up.
Soft and warm.
There you go. Making a friend always there on Monument Circle. All right, here's a look at what's going to come our way as we go into our Friday. And we mentioned that isolated shower chance really from around Bloomington, Nashville, Columbus, Bedford, Seymour as we go through the morning hours. But into the afternoon, we'll actually see the return of some sunshine to central Indiana. So that should feel pretty good. But temperatures will be a little bit cooler tomorrow. We'll make it into the middle 40s, which is about where we should be. But factor in that breeze, going to feel more like the 30s as we go through the afternoon. 45 the high in Indy, closer to 50 though in Columbus at 48 and 42 for you in Lafayette. Looking ahead, Saturday, pretty nice weather there. The sunshine will return, 44, and then we'll increase the clouds on Sunday. Also, the temperature as we'll make it back into the lower 50s. It's Monday that we'll start to see the rain return to the area. I think the bulk of this is going to move out though before the colder air moves in, so really not looking at much in the way of snow showers. 7-day planning forecast shows the colder air that will follow after that high of 54 on Monday. We're just 36 on Tuesday and 28 on Wednesday. It's time to talk Colts now with Dave First.
Guys, thanks. Good evening. Never a dull moment at the Colts complex today. A day of wonder for Adam Vinatieri. Had an MRI on his sore knee, all while the team picked up journeyman kicker Chase McLaughlin. This afternoon, Adam wouldn't predict at all about how this thing might end.
Not stressing it too much today, just doing treatment and stuff like that. Won't kick today, obviously. I don't kick on Thursdays anyway. I haven't got that far yet, to be honest with you. I'm just we're going to see what the docs say and see what we're doing and treat the heck out of it every single day and see what we can come up with.
And another knee we've been keeping an eye on has been the one belonging to Pacers Victor Oladipo. The rehab continues, even with the Pacers out of town, practicing a level down from the NBA. Call it a minor step, perhaps, in the Sports Extra spotlight. He seems in good form. Victor Oladipo dribbling between his legs or even the occasional spin move, but it's all on his schedule, which he describes as
as loose as a goose, honestly. So I'm just taking it one day at a time. When it's time for me to go out there, I'll know I'm ready.
There's going to be 12 balls. For now, get used to him wearing Mad Ants on his jersey, occasionally anyway. When the Pacers are away, he'll play, or at least practice, for the franchise's G League team in Fort Wayne.
This is the best thing for Vic. We're only 2 hours down the road. And it's great for him to utilize, and the Pacers utilize, the Mad Ants.
It's been great to come up here and play with these guys, get up and down a few times, and just get the feel of playing basketball back.
It's been 11 months now since he suffered that ruptured quad tendon, now surgically repaired. The comeback isn't as much physical as it can be mental.
The strongest battle you have is you versus you in life. The battle between you and your inner self, and trying to get over that. You got to be able to kind of withstand those mental lapses and talk yourself out of it.
He has help. Pacers guard Edmund Sumner is coming back from a hand injury. He's getting to see 2 comebacks at once.
Here we go. Now, Vic, no matter what, he got hurt, he's still the same guy. He's not playing right now, the same guy. When he's playing half 30, the same guy.
At the end of the day, it's about me playing the next 15 years, at the highest level possible. So I got to take care of my body.
So a man who's built most of his career in Indiana is still doing just that, whether it's been Bloomington, Indy, or now Fort Wayne. A minor step in his major saga.
I got a lot more in me. I got a lot more to prove. I got a lot more to conquer. I got a lot of more goals to accomplish. So for me, this is just the beginning. So as soon as I get back right and get back on the court, I'm going to let the reins loose.
Yeah, there's still no word, though, on when he'll be able to do that, perhaps next month. Vic and the Pacers deliberately, though, taking their time with all this. The good news is, so far, the Pacers are winning without him. They're at Detroit tomorrow night. The news at 6 continues after this.
At Ross, yes for less.
The jacket or lighter coat will get you through about Monday, and then by the middle of next week, you're going to need the winter weather gear once again. It gets cold.
And that's put simply.
Exactly.
All right, thanks, Kyle, for that.
Well, thanks for joining us.